Good morning, everyone. This is self-education. Remember, if I provide value in this video, please like, share, subscribe so I can keep making content. Today, we're going to talk about debt, keeping your financial budget aligned, keeping, you know, keeping everything balanced, paying down debt because, debt is enslavement, and we're going to get into the details of that and why a borrower is a slave to the lender. So, when you don't have margin in your life, when your budget is so tight that if just something slips, you can't make a payment or you can't afford something, that's bad. We need to create margin. How do we do that? So first things first, we can only lower expenses so much. I think everybody understands that. We can only lower our housing, our transportation, we can find ways to make this cheaper, and we got to create these long-term efficiencies through these small steps like I previously talked about in the last video. So we need to create these small steps to create this margin in our life. So how do we do that? So the biggest thing that I think that, to keep yourself accountable is write every single list of debt you have. I don't care if it's a dollar, as student loans, cars, housing, um, credit card debt, you know, credit payday loans, whatever the debt is, we need to write it down, and then we're going to list them all out from smallest to largest. And probably the most efficient thing for most people, that aren't, you know, unless you're an accountant or something and you understand, the interest rate. What's gonna be the best for most people is the snowball method. We're gonna pay the smallest balance off first, and then you're just gonna go, full force, and you're gonna pay the minimum payments on the rest of them, and you're gonna just keep attacking, each one, the smallest, go up to the next biggest one, the next biggest one, the next biggest one. Um, but we're at the same time, you know, you're gonna want to set a little bit of money aside, if something happens, because that'll kind of, you could make more debt and you could make it worse. So I kind of like Dave Ramsey's approach. If you haven't heard of him, maybe check his baby steps out. It's a really good method for a lot of people that aren't really familiar to, like, let's say, getting out of debt. So it's a really good approach. So the baby steps is, it's, the first one is save $1,000. The second one is pay off all debt, smallest to largest, snowball method. And then the third one is, build an emergency fund. That way you don't go back into debt. Those are really helpful for most people that aren't, that are just beginning their journey of cleaning everything up. So, but also I think that something that, maybe the Ramsey team doesn't touch on, and I don't really see a lot of people touch on, is what you want to do is you want to write down every list of thing that you buy. I don't care if it's groceries, eating out, everything that you do. I want you to get a journal, every bill you pay, and it's going to make it to where it seems like an inconvenience to buy something. You're going to question, do I really need this? And a lot of times you're probably right. You probably don't need it. So every single thing, you go to the grocery store, you buy something. When you leave, you're going to write down, uh, not maybe not every item, but depending, whatever you want to do, but definitely write down, the date, the time, how much it was, and you're going to write down how you know how much money you spent, and you're going to do that every time you eat out. It's gonna make it so mundane that some things that you feel like um, you want something, or you want to get something online, or you want to make these compulsive purchases. You want to, it's so easy to go on Amazon and buy something, um, and then just forget about it. It shows up, you use it maybe once or twice, and then it gets thrown away or it gets set aside, and you don't even know about it. So if you're gonna write, you need to write every single thing down, you know, and it's gonna make it to where I don't even want to write this down, because if I do if because then I'm gonna have to do this paperwork to buy this. So if you do that, you are gonna hold yourself accountable. You're gonna memorize all of these things, and you're gonna keep yourself in check. I'm gonna leave it at that, but we might make a part 2 of this. All right, thank you guys. Self education. We'll see you in the next one.